Our nonprofit status soon. We've already applied. It's already on someone's desk waiting for a signature, but it's done. So we will be a legitimate nonprofit organization very soon. Like, it was supposed to be last week, we should have gotten it, and it's just, everything here takes forever. It took us 8 months to get electricity here. I didn't block you. I haven't blocked anyone today. Maya's on her second trip here. She's coming here for a second time. We've had 4 people from TikTok come here. I'll tell you this, it costs us $23,000 a year to run this nutrition program. So, she's supposed to leave today, but there's no gas in the village. And it's been raining all morning, so we're gonna put her on a motorcycle. We're gonna send all the kids by motorcycle because it's pretty cheap. And they're not that far. It's about, 40 minutes away? Monkey Bay is about 40 minutes from here, so we're just put them on a motorcycle and send them. But because it's raining and there's no gas in the village, so we're not sure if we can even get the car. I don't know if Kim can drive them or not. I think he's afraid of using the gas. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. Gas shortages. Probably not as much as the electricity and the phone. Probably the electricity is out the most, then phone, and then gas. Gas, maybe once every 3 months they have a gas shortage, once every 4 months. But when they have it, it just F's up everything. When money doesn't have a specific program or category that it's going into, it goes into our general education fund, and those are for our college students. So luckily I've been able to save up, and it's all been just like $5, $1.20, just very small amounts have built up. For last year we paid for our college students just from those small amounts. So every little bit helps, every small amount helps. Oh, you missed the beginning. This is Sharon. She's our high school senior, our only female high school, up to high school. She's into secondary school. That's almost finished with secondary. We have one other, but Sharon is a senior. She's almost done. She'll be finished in June, July. And she wants to be a doctor. She'll be going to medical school at some point. She's not here very often. She's only here during breaks. But did you teach? Did you help teach for, you were one of the teachers? You did, right? You helped us teach the kids last year during your break. So she was here teaching during the break last year. Or this year, during our summer. She was here teaching kids. So she always gives back to this community whenever we need anything. We ask her for help. She's always here. She's really a very, very good person. And a good student. And smart. And beautiful. And nice. Anna. But she'll be our first female college student at Chipotle. Oh, she's the first to go to secondary school, right? Yeah, she's the first to go to high school. Educational organization that also has a nutrition program, because we found that our kids were not eating enough food during the day. Sometimes they had one meal and sometimes not at all. So we now feed all of our kids in the program 2 meals a day. And because of generosity by people on TikTok, we were able to fund a nutrition building and food for that nutrition building. People on here on TikTok have been feeding these kids for, how many months have we had the nutrition program now? I would say, maybe a year. You think that long, Lulu? Because I've only been working on this for 14 months. And I know we didn't have February, maybe, I can't remember. I'm gonna look and see. Angela, no, because she'll just look in the category of nutrition, food for the nutrition program, and she'll be able to see the first donation. Well, we had them out, said that they were going to feed them breakfast, and then we found out they were not feeding them at all, and I got very pissed off and angry, and thought, well, this is an issue. What are we going to do? And I think that's what I've been doing here. Like, if there's a problem, what can we do to solve the problem? Some problems we cannot solve. I cannot solve every problem here. There are some problems that are outside of my scope. Like, I have no psychiatry skills. There's no psychiatry here. We could use a psychiatrist here in the village for sure. We could use an AA program here for sure. We could use a lot of different programs, but it's just out of my scope. So we just have to say, okay, we have to drop that and move on. But if there's an issue that I can solve, a problem I can solve, then I'm going to try and solve it. So because of that problem, we ended up starting a nutrition program. We were already giving the kids snacks after school because we knew that we kind of tell that they were needing something, but we didn't know if they weren't eating. And some of them weren't eating at all. In the public school, there are kids passing out at school. because of lack of nutrition. So we're working also with the public school. Now that we have the nutrition center, we're working with the public school. If anybody's interested in sponsoring a kid, it's $25 a month to feed a kid 2 meals a day. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, sponsors to sponsor kids for meals, not to be in the educational program because we're kind of tapped out on that right now. It's a lot to oversee, but as far as getting these kids some food, the school's going to recommend which kids they think should be part of the program and refer them to us, and then I'm going to try and get sponsors for each of those kids to cover the cost of the nutrition program. So that's my new goal for 2025, is to get 50 more kids part of this nutrition program. But primarily it's an educational program. Primarily we're here to support kids from the village in school, because they only have one high school here and it's not good, period. They had 2 kids accepted to university in the 15 years they've been teaching there. 15 years, only 2 kids have been accepted to university. Right now we're with Sharon. She's our high school senior, our only high school. So when I was saying she's the only female in high school, I was wrong, because Pilrani's in high school. I forgot about her, but she's at the high school here, so I forget because it's just, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just not a good, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
Malay.
Yeah, I'm right. It's not a good school. In fact, and she wants to go to a good school, a decent school. So in order for Pilrani to go to another school, we have to send her to a private high school, and she has to get excellent grades at this high school and then repeat when she goes to the other. She'll have to repeat 9th grade again when she goes to because it's going to be very demanding. The other schools are way more demanding than the schools here. So even if she's taken the classes here already, it's still gonna be a challenge for her in 9th grade. And that's what happened before. We had last year we sponsored 2 of our students in this private high school because they didn't get into a high school. All right, this is how it works. How I understand it is right. If I'm wrong, just correct me, okay? So all of the students take this national exam in 8th grade. They call it Standard 8. They take the national exam. From that, the government then appoints where each student is going to go to high school. There are private high schools. So you have community high schools, which is the one we have here, which is the shit school, is a community high school. Then you have government schools, which are the good high schools, and then you have private high schools. So there's 3 tiers of schools, right?
Yeah.
Correct so far? Okay.
Yeah.
2 students that we had last year did not get into any of the schools, and they wanted to go to high school. So we paid for them to go to a private high school. Well, they couldn't function because their English skills were so poor, and the school is so bad here. Even the elementary, so they went from a bad school into a private school, and they just could not hang. And I let Kim convince me for them to go to a second semester, because I said, no, they're not passing the classes, they're failing everything, they shouldn't go on to the next semester. Kim was like, well, let's give them a chance, they'll do better, just give it, and they did. They failed the second term. You know, if you're failing the first term, you can't come back from failing. You can come back from maybe a D to a C. You can't from an F to a C. You're not going to come back the next term. It's not going to happen. They just didn't understand. So they were out of school, and one of them is no longer in the program because her family, she left the I forgot what happened. She's out of the program. And then the other one, she didn't have any sponsorship to go to any school. So what's her name? Shamima. Yes, that was Shamima. So she left the program. There were no sponsors. She was failing, so no one's going to pay for her to fail school. So she didn't have any more sponsorship. The other one is Yasmin, who lives here. Well, at the community school, which is number 1, community school, which is here, which is shit, they have 2 levels. You can go to the day school when the kids are when the government selects kids for the school. When they're selected into a community school, like let's say they're accepted in the school here, they're in the day school. But other students, if they want to go to high school, they can go to the night school. So Yasmin was going to the night school because she still wanted to go to school, even though she failed at the private school. So she also failed the public school. So we got to talk to her. She just failed this term, so we're no longer supporting her in school because she cannot hang in school. She needs to learn a skill. So today she's supposed to decide what she wants to do. Probably working at Chapazzo in some capacity. Now, Sharon got accepted to a government school. This is a public high school. But there are no public high schools here in Cape Maclear. There's only this shit community school.
Yeah.
So for her to go to a public high school, she has to go to a boarding school. And that's where the expense comes in. So any other kids that we're supporting in high school have been selected to the really good government schools. So they're all very bright, they all speak English, and they're all, good students. So that's what I raise money to be able to send the kids in this village to government schools. But we were also paying for the private school for those 2 girls before because we were trying to give them a chance. But I'm not doing that ever again. They can go to the school here, get very, very good grades, and then I will pay for them to repeat that same year at a private school. I'm not going to make the same mistake. It's live and learn. We just started this organization, so every month I'm learning a new lesson. Every day it's a different problem. You know what I mean? So we're just sort of working through some of the kinks. But Sharon has been going already to this very good public high school for 4 years. Almost, she's completing her high school this year, so completing her senior year. There you go. You can answer that one.
Okay.
Loudly, so I can hear you. Come on, don't be shy.
Okay, it was like at first I was poor in speaking, even writing. Spellings were difficult to me. If you can check my standard 5 exercise books, you can laugh. You can laugh because even the spellings were poor. But when I repeat standard 5 at Kitsanzo Private Primary School, I start to work on spellings, and also my teacher usually told me I should get used to it by practicing. Even if I make a mistake or speak a broken English, I should not stop but continue. And I did that, and also I get used to read like short stories, novels, and everything. They say if you find a paper, even on a road, you have to take it and read it. So that you can get well. You can know how to speak English and pronunciation. So I did that until that I came first time I joined the school, I was passing not very well. It was poor. But after I know everything, now I tend to be in top 5. And they also know how to speak English and write as well.
So she's in the top 5 of her class. How many students are in your class?
Almost maybe 50. Yeah.
50? 50?
Yeah.
So out of 50 students, she's number 5. Yeah? Number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, number 5 out of 50 students in her class. We're very proud of her. That's why, helping her get into school, paying for school, paying for, when she needs something. She gave me a list of stuff yesterday, so now she can buy some of those things because it was a long list, and so she needs a new backpack. We can't get one because they don't have backpacks here, so she's got to get one. When she goes back to school, she'll get herself a backpack. She needs an umbrella. There are no umbrellas here, and she'll have to go, when she goes back to school, now she's got money from people, now she can go buy those things for herself. I gave her some money, but that was just a little bit for some shoes and just some clothes. But she needs stuff. I gave her a pillow. She wanted a pillow. I gave her a pillow. I'm trying to. I gave her some of my clothes so she could have some new clothes, something. My old clothes are her new clothes. Yeah, just to get her a few things. I forgot. I haven't really given her any money or bought her anything for years, right? So she finally got up the courage to come here yesterday and say, Mama. She's very shy. She didn't have the courage to do it, so she finally did. Yeah, what do you eat at school? What kind of food? All right, what do you eat? This is a tip. This is every day. You have the same thing?
Okay,
breakfast. What do you have?
Breakfast, we eat porridge with maize flour. In the afternoon, we eat sima with beans. In the dinner, we eat sima with vegetables. That's the meal each and every day.
Every day,
yeah,
same thing.
Same thing.
When Kim and I went to visit, Kim knew. Kim's like, if we're gonna go visit them, we should stop and get some snacks. So Kim got a bag of snacks for each of them.
And the vegetables,
they're not good.
They're not good, not clean.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not clean.
You have sand in them. The grit. Oh, I hate that.
They're just dead. No meat, no meat, no meat.
No, the people in the village are pretty much vegetarian here in the village. They don't eat a lot of meat. Sometimes fish. If they're lucky enough to be able to afford fish, they'll eat fish. But there's very, very few. They eat chicken on Christmas and for their Independence Day. That's the only 2 times a year they eat chicken.
Yeah.
Or goat. Sometimes they'll have goat for those holidays. That's yeah. Meat is very expensive for them here. What do I eat here? I eat chicken here. I can get chicken here. I eat goat once in a while. Not very. I'm pretty vegetarian here. Like maybe 2 times a week I'll have some meat, maybe. But that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, there are eggs here, but they're expensive for the people that live here. They're not buying eggs all the time unless they have the extra money to do so. Like, how often do you eat eggs?
Like at school?
No, here, when you're home. At home at your house. Do you ever eat eggs?
No. Not often.
Yeah. Main source of protein is beans.
And fish.
And the fish.
Yeah.
But do you fish at school? They never give you fish at school?
No, maybe if you can buy here and prepare them. Yeah.
And take it with you to school? Well, maybe you can take some fish back to school with you. Yes. We're almost on the chicken coop. It's being built right now. It's been raining ever since almost died. It's been raining. It's like the heavens are crying for that poor child. Seriously, it hadn't rained like very, very little this whole season. The rainy season is supposed to be starting in November sometimes, and definitely the December. It didn't start until right when he died. It started raining like crazy. It's been raining off and on the whole week. Yeah, we're gonna have eggs. We're gonna have chickens. We're thinking of putting. You know, we have a piece of land out in another area, another village, Kasanka. Kasanka. We have some land there, and we tried to grow corn last year, and because of the drought, there was no rain or very little rain. Most of it died. We didn't have very much, so I didn't want to do it again this year. So we're thinking about doing something else out there. We'll probably do maybe goats and maybe some cows on the land out there, and hire some herders to take. Yes, yeah, I was here first time on vacation in 2019 is when I started sponsoring students. I was sponsoring 10 students, 3 in college and then 7 in elementary school and high school, kind of like they were kind of, spread out. And then 2 have graduated university, and she's the only one left of my original 10. Yeah, so we're gonna be interviewed for a radio station, so that's good. Off the live right now, but I'll probably be on a little bit later once we get the other kids in here, the other high school students. I'm gonna try and